You live. Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast channels 98 and 22. Channel 98 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 13, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.
I'm Grayson Shepard. I'm the chair of the Town of Exeter Historic District Commission, calling this meeting to order. Today is
17th.
August 17th, I believe, all day.
Yep.
And we'll start on my far right to introduce everyone for the record.
Okay, I'm Kevin Kahn. I'm the vice chair in the commission.
I'm Pam Jadam, I'm the clerk.
Julie Gilman, Select Board Representative.
Gwen English, Planning Board Representative.
And if I could, Mr. Chair, our recording secretary is going to be recording this from, or writing this from home on our recording, so I'd ask everyone to make sure your microphone's close enough for her to hear you.
So please speak clearly. She's going to be having a hard time trying to understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, and if we say, talking to the mic, we're not trying to be rude. It's just to make sure that everything's clear. Well, I shouldn't say that. We may be trying to be rude. So we'll start with case number 23-3, which is the continued public hearing on the application of Jeffrey Poindexter for changes to the existing structure located at 107 Water Street. I believe this was taken up at the last meeting, which I was not present for. Do we have anyone here it's Poindexter, I apologize. Do we have anyone here for this application?
Yeah, I can take questions or...
Can you introduce yourself?
I'm Jeffrey Poindexter. I own the building at 107 Water Street, and I also own Whirligigs Toy Shop. So. Is that loud enough for the...
Yeah, maybe just a little bit louder.
All right.
So again, I wasn't here. I had a chance to look over the minutes from last month, and it looks like the issue was not having photographs or some sort of examples of the garage door trim, but I may be misreading that. So if somebody who is here wants to run point on this one, that'd be great.
What ended up happening, we discussed all the materials, et cetera. I think we found the application complete. But I, in particular, was concerned about the presentation, the design that was presented being just actually a little too fancy for the place it's sitting on the building and in back of the building. And so I asked if the owner was willing to come back with a simpler solution, and I think more cost-effective. And this is what they're presenting tonight.
All right. So do we have, I guess, being that the application was already previously approved as complete, do we have any thoughts or input on what I believe is the revised drawing?
Well, I don't, because that's what I was suggesting.
Does that look like kind of what you were envisioning?
Yes, just a much more simplified version of what you had. I think what you had was really appropriate for a storefront, and in an historic district, but given the position of what the work you're doing,
Right.
Doesn't have to be quite as fancy. Okay. So, if in the future you do want to turn that space into a retail space, then you might consider changing it, but for right now, just the simpler the better.
Okay.
Anyone else have any thoughts, input?
No, I think you did a very good job. Yep. It looks nice.
Thanks.
Anyone else? Any more discussion on the revised drawings?
Just a quick question. On the original, you had 3 lights over the windows. It looks like you just have one over the door. That's
Yeah, part of the simplification. We had another one where it showed 3, but I think it looks better with one in this.
Okay, just
in this situation.
Nice.
And so do I have no more comments? Do I have a motion to approve?
Yeah, I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you.
You're all
Thank
set.
you.
Thank you.
That was simple. Thank you for coming back.
I'm a little worried about the guy jumping off the
The balcony.
looks very casual.
Okay.
All right, so thank you. Next, we have Application 23-6, which is the application of Phillips Exeter Academy for the replacement of windows in the Woodbridge house located at 63 Front Street. Property is located in R2 Single Family Residential Zoning District, tax map parcel number 72-209. Do I have anyone here on this application?
Yes. Hi there.
How you doing?
I'm Jeff Plimpton. I work at Phillips Exeter. I manage buildings and grounds, and this is a project that we've been looking at for a few years. You'll see in one of the photographs I provided in the little packet a close-up of the window. That's the existing window. We believe the house to be, at least our document shows, somewhere around 1780, 1777, something like that. So we know that the windows that are in place now are not the original windows. We tried to get a better idea of when they were. We think around 1940-ish, something like that. We certainly haven't owned the house that long.
You know, you're sort of fading out. Maybe
I
it's
am?
my hearing aids, but...
I don't know.
Okay,
Can everyone hear me okay?
yes.
Okay. What we like about the product is, obviously, it's a clad material. It does have the SDL and the 5/8, which replicates this as closely as possible. Pella does a lot of stuff in historic districts. But the thing that we think that will improve the look the most is that we would be able to remove that storm window that's on there. So our yield for glass will be actually bigger than what you see here. So we think we'll have a better view from the street. I did bring a sample. Unfortunately, our rep brought me a brown color.
That's okay.
It is, would you like to see it? It is a quality product. We find it complement to manufacturers that do high-end windows in historic districts. Get it out of here. I carried this up the stairs. It's heavier than I thought. I don't install these for a living.
You do know we have an elevator.
Oh, I did not know.
So does it have a full screen?
We're going to do it with a full screen.
Okay.
Just to kind of improve that. If I could do no screen, I would. I'm not a fan of screens, but that's okay.
Yeah, full screens aren't our favorite either, but I understand.
Yeah.
So you'll be removing the sash and frame from the,
Removing the sash, and we'll be using the existing waste pockets
yep.
to insulate those.
And once again, you've stepped away from the microphone.
sorry.
Sorry.
She's on top of it.
Yes, she is.
Yes, I am.
Somebody's got to be.
Yes.
Well,
Yes, we'll
I
be.
think I need to, anyway.
Oftentimes with windows of this age and openings of this age, you'll have the old weight pocket. And rather than remove all of that, we will reinforce that and insulate that, and then use that existing frame.
Okay, and the material is, again,
It's an aluminum clad material. Yep.
Yeah, the PEA often uses that, or most of the time uses that kind of material.
Yeah, it's either that or a pultruded material. It's one or the other. We try, there's a few vinyl areas. I'd like to get rid of all of those.
That's nice. So are you asking about replacement of all the windows?
On the front elevation, I think there's also another picture of the house. If not, I've provided it here. It's these windows on the front elevation only for now,
Okay.
just because of the cost. So it will be the
Yeah, we have,
5/4 and a side window.
Okay.
10 units.
And the remaining windows on the sides, when I was driving in town, I tried to do a quick count, but I didn't want to run into the back of anybody.
So the side that you most see from the street is the side as you head north, I guess, towards the tracks on Front Street. If you're coming from that direction, you'll see that elevation. And those were replaced probably 40 years ago. And those are a vinyl channel wood Brosco window. So
My fave.
what I'm trying to do, or what I should say we're trying to do, is to replace all of the windows and put it back a little closer to what would look more historical.
Okay, my other question was shutters. Keep or no keep?
Typically, we will keep, and in this case, we will keep the shutters.
Well, here's my concern with that. I understand most of the front, but the lower level, those shutters are definitely not original to the building.
They are not.
And they're also inappropriately sized.
They're a little too big.
They're too big, too
Yes.
long and too wide.
Yes, they are.
So are you going to replace those?
We wouldn't replace those with this project, but we've gone to a company called Custom Shutter Company that does a fiberglass shutter. And we would, at some point, replace those.
Okay. It's funny, it looks like it's just that one window that has somebody had some shutters in their shed and they put them up.
I can't speak to that, but the size is a little off.
So I guess, any other questions about the application itself? Do we think we have enough information to move forward?
I do. I would just make a note that this project is only the front elevation.
Yes, it's only the 9 units, I think it is, or 10 units, excuse me.
Yeah, and we can include this with the...
All right, so do I have a motion to approve the application as complete?
So
Move
moved.
to approve as complete.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, so any, I guess, additional discussion? Can start anywhere, really, free for all.
I have nothing to add. I mean, we've had Pella windows before, and we know they're very good. If Patrick isn't here, because he would be salivating. He loves windows.
No, I think this is it's a complete application in all ways. Just clarifying the number of windows was all that was really needed. I have no real questions. I don't have any questions about how you answer how they're going to be installed and what the type is. So I have no further comments.
Anyone else? Nope.
There, on the entranceway, are there windows on the side that, it's hard to...
I hit this, sorry.
and I just, I can't tell.
Do you mind if I come up there?
Yeah.
You can actually grab, if you're going to be explaining something, would you
Yeah.
mind bringing the mic with you?
So where is it? Is that? a window?
Those are going to remain.
Those are
part
okay.
of, we try not to, the little side windows, those side lights on that
At the entrance.
bump out vestibule kind of space. We tend to try not to disturb those.
Okay.
It ends up being a very small replacement, and it's a fixed window. So with the frame size, you end up having this little tiny squeaky thing in there that just starts to really look out of scale.
Yeah.
So we tend not to.
Okay, just curious. I think we have one of those on our house too, and I know they're tiny.
They are tiny.
They're tiny.
But no, those will stay in place.
Okay.
Try to leave that front entrance as it is.
Okay.
It's a nice entrance.
Thank you.
I have one question, and I apologize if I'm
That's okay.
the terminology's incorrect, but in the application here, it looks like, in the windows, it looks like it says 6/6, but that is different, so I wasn't sure if that's, what exactly is going in here.
This is a 4/4.
Oh, yeah,
With just a clear light at the bottom.
Yep.
This was just more, and I asked our rep to provide as accurate of a sample as he did. He dropped it off today. So,
But
yes.
you're
It is a 6/6.
Okay.
With a 5/8 grill.
okay. That's what I saw in the
That's correct.
application. I just wanted to make sure that
That is
I
correct.
wasn't misreading it. So, anything else? All right, do I have a motion to approve? Again, I'll make the note that this is obviously, I mean, I know the application references only the 10 windows on the
Yes.
front elevation, but we can make a note of that if someone wants to do so.
I'll be back again for the rest of it.
I'll move to approve the application as appropriate, just noting that the application was for the front elevation only. I believe it's 10 windows.
Okay. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, so next we have application for changes to the existing structure located at 85 Water Street. The proposal is to restore the structure to the original appearance. Subject property is located in Waterfront Commercial Zoning District, tax map parcel 7229, and it's case number 23-7.
Good evening.
Hi there.
I am Mario Ponte.
Morning.
I owned both buildings across the street, the Exeter Jewelers Building and the Janvrin Block. I've been across the street for 50 years. Some of you know me, I'm sure. But anyway, the Janvrin Block, which is an eyesore right now, because the previous owner did things to that building which covered up a lot of the beautiful architectural detail that's on the building, like those archways that are behind that ugly awning that's out front. And the windows up top, on this picture, you can see that he, rather than put the full window, he replaced it with like a 3/4 window and put a piece of plywood across the top of it. The granite is all still there, and there were dormers across the top that he eliminated. Do you have the original picture of the building?
No.
We do not know.
Do you know what it looked like?
I do have the description when the, thank you. Oh,
Take a look at that.
wow. Let's see it here. That's when the bandstand was wood. Wow. And they took it down every year.
And he also put an ugly addition off the back. I don't know if any of you've seen that. The Heritage Commission was out there and all agreed that it should go. So we propose to bring the building out to the piers where the addition was placed and go up. As you can see from here.
Old wooden bandstand. Really old.
And put the windows back in there like the ones in the front.
Can you take the microphone with you?
Yeah, can you grab the microphone? You can just pull it out of the thing.
So this is the rendering of the back of the building. It's an eyesore right now, and hopefully when John DeStefano is the builder, and we hope he turns it back into a beautiful building, which it once was.
I looked up on our, when the waterfront commercial historic district was put on the National Register, and I looked up the information to see about that shingled awning thing that's on the front, and because I didn't know about the arched windows and didn't know that they were there.
Well, if you look on the side of
Yeah,
the
there's the
building,
one there.
you can, one is exposed.
Yeah.
And all the rest are under that ugly awning that he's got out there.
And that's what it says in the National Register file. So it doesn't say ugly awning, but it but it does say they're covered up.
And there were beautiful dormers across the top.
Yeah.
And he removed those as well.
That's interesting because I am so used to the mass of the roof as it is now that when I saw the drawings in the packet, I thought, wow, that's a big change. But it's not, apparently.
No, not from what it originally was.
It's a beautiful building.
Hopefully,
So
it's finished.
when you do the replacement of the windows, because I assume the arched parts are not glazed anymore.
I mean, I haven't seen behind what's behind there. I know up in the attic, there are some like storm-type windows that must have gone over those. We don't know until we take that off. The bricks are certainly there.
Yeah.
So they can be replaced. I'm sure he knows that he's going to have to do a lot of work to bring it back to what it was.
I was just wondering, like we had the example of the window from the previous project, if we have any information on that.
We can certainly, are there any information on the windows on the plans?
Pull that together, but on the plans, yeah, there are on the plans.
No, on the plans, it just shows
Did you look at them? I made 6 copies of the
No, I
plans.
looked at them, but all I found for the information on them was how to install them.
It wasn't very detailed on materials.
So it's a Anderson 400 series.
If you don't mind,
We
if you
can't
could
hear
talk
you.
into the microphone, sorry. And introduce yourself as well, just so we're...
You do know that this project was approved at an earlier date. It was a while back. It was approved, but unfortunately my wife became terminally ill and this had to go on the back burner. So now things have changed and we hope to finish it.
So my name is John DiStefano, owner of DiStefano and Associates here in Portsmouth, and we're construction managers. We do many different types of projects. Historic is certainly one of them. If you're familiar with the Foster's building in Dover, we just redid that building and put in apartments. So very familiar with that type of construction and with historic features. But I'm looking here on A61, I don't know if you have that drawing, but the architect has called out for Anderson 400 series.
No, we
Double
don't.
hungs.
Yeah, we don't have 6-1.
Okay.
We
So-
have up to A21.
Okay. So, to that extent, obviously we can provide that, right?
Yeah, that
But
would be helpful.
I'm just giving you the quality of window, the Anderson 400 series, in clad, okay?
And is that for the front, just the front, or
All around,
all around?
yeah. There's quite a few different window details on this 6-1. I can bring it to you here if you want.
Yeah, that's fine. We can look at it now.
I can have that, I mean, it's not good. That's what I was reading from, and these are different. And he's calling for screens.
Okay, so I'm looking at the Anderson website for the 400 series,
No idea what this is.
and it says it's made of wood with a vinyl exterior.
Vinyl clad, that's correct. Just like the pellet.
The pellet was aluminum, wasn't it?
Yes, aluminum clad with wood inside.
That's not vinyl.
What's that?
I said, that's not vinyl.
No, his isn't vinyl, no, that's aluminum. But this,
You know, you have gone into another dead zone.
yes, I am. Sorry, thanks for reminding me, yes. So, that's what he's specified so far. Obviously open to considerations and,
If you look at our guidelines, we don't like vinyl because you'll only have to replace them in about 20 years. They do not wear as well. They're not made, I know they keep out the moisture, but they start leaking after a period of time, and you're exposed to the waterfront there, so that may have an effect.
I don't think that we're hung up on the vinyl. I think, the aluminum would be fine. Yeah.
Okay. It would be better for you too, that that you don't have to replace the windows in 20 years, Mari. And just my other question was, I appreciate the return of the dormers. I didn't know they were there, so that at first when I looked at the elevation, I thought, wow, that's a big change.
You can see them from the attic, the cutouts are there.
But my one question, well, it's not, I don't know if it's part of the process, but it was just why the middle one is elliptical as opposed to just a regular gable.
Do you have the plans there?
Yes.
Look at the plans. That's changed, hasn't it?
I'll let you speak.
Are you looking at A13?
This is what it's gonna be.
Yeah, that's
Done now. This is a different.
I didn't get it, but
No, that's what the model showed.
Oh, roof plan.
Yeah.
A1R maybe.
Yeah, I've got 2.1 shows
That.
the arch. Yeah. So is that,
It went down there. Pam, can you pass the photo thing?
Do you have this one?
no, I don't. But,
We could,
It's on the picture,
I mean, if you prefer, if you think it would look better, we can do the top, all three the same, but we thought, I mean, that's got a little bit more character, but we could do the three the same. Doesn't make any difference really to us.
I think the three the same is more appropriate because of the history of the building. You've actually seen it on the inside, so it's there.
That's an easy fix.
It is an easy fix. And that really was my biggest question, is the materials that you're using. I really appreciate filling the windows with window instead of plywood. That's going to be much better. Are you going to do any kind of awning, like
I don't know. I don't think so, because you don't want, if you put an awning, you're going to cover those archways. So I don't think
we want to celebrate them for a little while.
I went thinking.
Okay. Well,
so I have one question. You mentioned that this was previously approved, and I don't know, I wasn't around for that. Does anybody have any?
no, I don't.
John Cole Morgan,
Fred.
You can just speak and talk into the microphone, sorry.
hear me from.
I can hear you, but we have somebody taking it down.
Yeah,
Somebody writing the notes.
Barbara gave me the previous application, and John, you know Cole Morgan, right?
Fred.
He
Yeah.
was the chair, and
That was a while
Anna
ago.
Evans, Lackey was on the board.
I might have been there, but I don't remember. I don't recall this one.
I'm
but-
afraid Fred is dead, so we can't really reach him.
Well, that's why I didn't
I'm-
have to pay for an application fee as well, because I had already paid for it.
And is this largely consistent with the previous application, or are there any differences, just for my own edification?
It's exactly the same. That was exactly the same model I brought up that day.
I was going to say, I haven't seen a cardboard model in 20 years.
Yeah, I made that last night.
Oh, you sure you did?
Multi-talented.
So, I guess I would make that a note of that you accept changing the center to a gable roof instead.
That and the windows,
The material.
the material to the
So
aluminum.
that's the front.
So that's the front. Do we have any questions on the application or any of the information provided as far as the back of the building goes?
Well,
This is the back now. We did the same thing with the windows. See how we boarded it up?
He's showing pictures of the back side of the building. I'm talking to the lady who's taking notes.
Where is she?
she's watching us
She is
on
right behind
TV.
you. Okay.
See, they covered up again.
And again, we said that you would use the same window style as on the front as well.
Okay, and the balcony rails are what?
What would you like them to be?
Not final.
Yeah, whatever you think's appropriate, you know.
Well, technically, we need to see a sample or a cut sheet of what you're going to provide. It's it's not, we can't just approve something out of the air.
Like metal railings,
Yeah,
match the windows, type of thing.
yeah.
Okay. No problem. Be anodized aluminum, match the windows.
Is anything else changing on the rear elevation? From what it looks
Versus
like?
what it looks like today?
Yeah.
A lot. It's an old wood structure that's basically falling down.
Sorry, the microphone.
Yeah.
Normally, if there was somebody here, I wouldn't be this strict about it,
Yeah,
but
you should just stay there.
yeah.
So, yeah, I should. It's an old wood structure that is in the back. Basically, it's falling down, okay? So in its place, we're going to be constructing this addition. It's an addition. And as Mario said, off of the existing footprint of the existing piers of that wood structure. So we're coming out, you know, right to the asphalt, really, in the back there, you know?
The same footprint as what, yeah, I was part of the demolition review, so I know.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's a pretty substantial jet out there. It's
You know, it's got the rounded corner there.
yeah.
There's a couple of garage openings for the cars, because there's 2 apartments on the bottom floor. Then you have retail on the first floor, and then the other floor is above that. But,
Why did you go with the rounding? Just to have an element of why you decided to curve the edge?
It's curved now.
Oh, I missed that.
That's where the curve to the road is.
that's correct.
Oh, that's right.
That curve represents, what
Here,
are they gonna do, a deck there?
you have to go here.
Hey, why don't you both just stand there?
Originally, we were gonna put like a deck there.
I remember.
It's like a service entrance. And that was just, I guess it was decking material. Does he not show it on there?
It's going to be a glass enclosure there. Get the right plan.
And while you're looking for that, I'm sorry if I missed it, but it's the same footprint as it is now? Was that?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I thought. I just wanted to double check and make sure I had that.
Yeah, all we have are the A1, the A drawings, so we don't have anything
you know
on
why
the
he curved
existing.
it? I remember now, because when it came out, they hit the building a lot. People that drive up that side road, they've taken off that gutter 100 times. They just took it off a couple of weeks ago. Peter Dow, you remember him? He suggested years ago that we make it a one-way, which I think is a good idea, but that's up to the property owners, that they come in from Water Street but not go out that way. Because a truck doesn't realize when he's down at the other end how narrow it gets when you go up to this end.
Yeah.
And then they don't want to turn around.
So they take out your building?
They take some of the building with them. So we hope to work on that soon, to try to get it to be one way and come in this way and go out that way towards Swayze Parkway.
Do you have any information on the doors for the balconies? What the materials are going to be for the doors?
That would be a clad Anderson.
Microphone? Why don't you just pass the microphone, pretend you're on
Yeah.
America's Got Talent, and pass it back and forth amongst you.
So that would be a matching Anderson.
That can come right out of its holder.
Right. Be a matching Anderson clad door. And I don't know if you have A-1 BRCP in your folder, but that's showing the plan of the basement, basically.
Turn my page. Maybe.
And you can find it on A02. A better one actually is A1.1B.
Oh, I see it, yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
So you can see the curve on that. Which is,
So it's really angled, it's not curved.
yeah, it's basically angled.
Yeah. So is there, excuse me, you're taking down the old wood falling apart piece of, or addition to the original building. Is this, was there any of the original wall left in there? Do you know?
Where?
The brick wall is behind that wood structure.
Right.
Yes.
And does this, does the design have any?
Incorporates, the brick wall stays.
Okay.
Yeah.
But does the design, like where you have windows here, does it sort of look like what it would have? If we just took off that wood addition, what would
Right.
we see?
If you took off that wood, I don't know if he's got a existing.
No, there's nothing existing in these drawings.
Talking about the awning, you take the awning off?
No, they're in the back. We're talking about in the back now.
Oh, there's windows there. There are windows there.
So my question is, if you can see that, do they, line up with the design? Right.
Say windows, there's openings.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the former existing brick building. The wood structures in addition, and here, this stays. This becomes a wood frame structure, looking a lot better as an extension.
No, I understand that part. But my question is the openings that Mr. Ponte talked about, and this only shows a couple.
So these are all on the elevations. Of course, you see, talking about these windows here?
Yeah, on the back, those windows. I just wanted to know what their relationship was to the original building. If they,
Yeah, when you say relationship, so this is an addition so far out. In fact, it's 12 foot 6 inches.
no, I understand that. Let me show you.
All right.
Okay, this is the existing rear wall, okay,
Brick building.
and there are openings in it, and I assume that there are openings beyond the first floor?
Right.
So my question is, I'm not asking you to keep the wall or anything like that, but what is the relationship of what is proposed to what used to be there? And go get the microphone.
If you had a picture of what was there and a picture of what is being proposed, would the windows be in the same place?
No.
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, or similar arrangement.
Similarly arranged? No.
I'm only asking because I just want to know.
Yeah, no, they're not going to match up from the new addition to the existing brick building.
And that addition was, the Heritage Commission found it not a cultural resource to the building itself,
Right.
and I have no problems with that being taken down or
Right.
any reference to it. I just wondered if this referred back to the original, or if you could even tell.
Maybe you can't even tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't really tell. I mean, this is windows for residential use,
Right. I've lost my elevation.
The, on the rear elevation, picture 3 on 2-1, what is that material on the bottom right, like where the garage door is? Is that still gonna be the same wood material, but I just wasn't sure if there was something that I was missing?
So the siding is a fiber cement siding. Is that what you're asking?
No, so where the garage is, down here in the bottom right, I'm just trying to figure out what that material is gonna be. It's mentioned.
To me, that's the same, just maybe there's a shadow there, but it's still hardy siding.
It's a hardy plank. Is the garage, it's not recessed or,
No, there's two garage doors there. And the door,
this doesn't show,
One.
yeah.
Yeah, one and a quarter.
okay, yeah. No,
Yeah, I don't even,
all right, so Mario can probably better explain, but originally the plans had an apartment and then a storage area or something, right? And then it became 2 apartments. Yeah, the plans they're looking at in that basement just have the 1 bedroom.
We're just wondering about this has 1 garage door, that has 2. Is this what's being proposed? Or is that?
It's a carport. I don't even know that we can put the garage doors, can we?
Yeah.
We can? So there's 2.
The one apartment, one is for the
There are
other.
2.
Barely, it's 12 feet.
Yeah, there's 2.
So would there,
Unit 1A, okay, so this has got the 2 apartments in it. And it fits these 3, actually.
yeah, this is showing 3 garage spots, so will there be 3 doors? Or is it, as Mr. Ponte said, just a carport that's open to the weather?
Well, if you can do it, just obviously, you know how bad it is back this time. We would prefer to do the garage doors, right?
Yep.
Help yourself.
Oh, this was your set here.
Okay,
So then what's the answer?
so how many garage doors do we have?
It's not for us to decide that, it's your project, so.
Yeah,
2, those are the only 2.
yeah, there's 2.
I guess that was kind of following up to the question about the materials in the back. I was going to ask what the garage door materials would be if you have.
Well, we can stick with the aluminum since we're using that everywhere, I guess. Insulated, yeah.
We're gonna wanna see
sheet for that.
Yeah.
So, any more questions on the rear elevation? As far as the application and information we have available.
I think the elevator's right.
On the right.
Right, if you want to use that. There you go.
No, I don't believe so. But I do have to say that a verbal description of the application is not really preferred. I think you still have some decisions to make, and I don't want you to be making them on the fly without really considering, especially the garage doors, maybe you can have 3, or, maybe you want a heavier door, steel instead. They come in.
What door are you talking about?
The garage doors.
Oh, the garage doors.
Yeah. So I guess I can't say that this is complete for me.
I think it makes sense to at least get some idea of materials as far as I know we just listed off the balcony railings and the garage doors, but French door, we don't have any information on what that proposal is going to be.
Yep.
And I don't know about anything, or do we even have proposal? I guess you have proposal. We haven't seen the proposal for the windows overall. I know you mentioned they were going to be Anderson 400s, but I think having some more information on that would be helpful.
A not vinyl window.
Right, that's fine. Well, this has been good input, and it won't take long to bring that back here,
And while you're looking at the front on those dormers, if you make can you make the middle one match the size of the other 2? Or does that interfere with the floor plan?
You want...
Yeah, be careful. It's been around a while.
We can make those 3 the same.
You wanted to make this one like these 2?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he said yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. Well, I want to be sure that you're not keeping it that wide and using the same pitch, because then that would make it
The same as this.
okay. All right. So the 3 dormers will be the same dimensions. Okay.
So, anything else
I
that
think
we
that's
want
called out in
information on?
This calls out are you doing the new, you're going to re-roof the thing when you're doing all that construction?
Say that again, please.
Yeah. Are you going to be yeah. So are you using
Re-roofing, yes, complete, yeah.
just a 3-tab architectural style shingle kind of
It'll
thing?
be an architectural, yeah.
That's probably something else that we're going to want is the...
Yeah.
All right.
One of the things that we ask for in our application is, either bring the materials or give us cut sheets to look at,
Right.
so we don't have to ask you all these questions. And
No, this is good input. I'm speaking for Mario, but he's already been through this, had the approval of all these materials before, so
well, the materials have changed.
but now, it won't take much to put together, but
While we're on the roof here, have you done anything about heating or air conditioning? Are we going to have any of those sitting up on the roof?
no, not on the roof.
Good.
No, there'll be all heat pumps. There'll be some condensers on the ground in the back.
On the ground in the back?
Yeah,
Where?
kind of over next to the right of that garage door situation. That's what we're thinking right now. Got some space in here.
Okay, so it's inside, and we don't even see it. Okay, very good.
probably the same kind of considerations, but as we're going through, anything on the side elevation, how it looks as far as the information that we're gonna need before we can approve it, it's probably the same, but any thoughts?
You know, when you look at that elevation, pretty much we're just taking the old windows out and putting new ones in.
Right.
There really isn't anything else. And this building will have an elevator. Not that
Right.
that has a historic consequence.
An historic elevator.
Yeah, yeah.
But it doesn't, because it's an electric one, it doesn't need the head house, right?
Well, it's more or less, doesn't need the pit, really, as much as the hydraulics do. You still need the distance above, but we have that in the attic space.
Okay. I think that was where, where Ms. Jedham was going on that. As far as the air handling units we've seen on some of the other waterfront buildings that
Yeah.
have huge things on the back of the building.
Big Henry Moore sculptures on top of them. They're very strange.
Yeah.
No, this is
They
good.
don't look good. No, none of ours will be visible.
Okay.
So do I have, anything else before we, I guess, make a motion to table for more consideration?
I think we've given you, do you want us to write a list of the things? Are you writing a list of the things
I
we
have
have?
my list, or we can review it together.
Yeah, let's
You can
review
send
it.
one, either way.
Let's review the list, just to make sure we are all
Okay.
getting what we want.
Okay.
I have what type of garage door and
Yep.
how many. The siding of the addition is going to be hardy plank.
Yeah.
Okay. A cut sheet or a sample of the window,
Yeah.
new windows, and the railing, the same.
And then you hit,
The balcony rails.
roofing.
Shingles?
And the shield.
And the shingles, yeah.
I got the roof, yeah. I got doors,
Wait,
the doors, patio doors. Yeah.
yes, yep.
I don't want to make you feel that we're picking you all apart, because we're really grateful that you're doing this.
Oh, no.
This
don't believe me.
is wonderful that you're doing this.
No, he's the one doing it right here. I'm just working for him, but
And is the storefront, the storefront is changing because of the, going back to the arches. So, like where the doors are situated in the front are they going to be different? I took a look at it, but now I can't remember. That's, yeah, that goes up to the oh, that's the main entry for the retail too?
yeah.
Oh,
So are these,
it shows two,
are these doors to each side? Are those gonna be doors to other retail space?
Go downstairs.
I see.
So Mario, this is what they're talking about.
So there's just a main corridor accessing the elevator that brings you up and down.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it on the plan, on the right plan.
A11 maybe?
A11. No, I keep burying it. Ah, here it is. Yeah, I keep putting it on the bottom as we talk about things.
This will get you here.
it looks like they're-
Also get into those two spaces.
The main corridor, like you said, but there's two doors.
Two doors to the retails.
Or the
To the
elevator.
retail.
Yeah, and downstairs goes downstairs.
Yeah, so that main entrance where is showing a circle for the window, that goes into where the residential
Right.
pieces begin, but you still have two other front doors for the retail area.
Right.
And is that, my question was if that configuration is different from what it is today? I think it is.
Well, there was always two stores there,
Yeah.
and then she took.
Oh, you need the microphone. Just,
Getting your exercise.
I know.
So there was always two retail stores there. When Trends took it over, they turned it into one. But really, you need a unless we can make that one work, but most retailers are gonna want a door on the street. They don't-
Oh, I don't have a problem with it, I just
Yeah.
want to know.
It looks like you're showing that,
Yeah.
that there's,
That plan that you have shows it. See,
that
this
there are 3
model
doors
is
in
an
the
older
front.
model,
Yeah.
So my question was just going to be about the storefront material. If it,
That's going to be aluminum storefront typical.
okay.
Yeah, so we'll just want some information on that as well.
Yeah, really, it's just what materials are you using everywhere? So,
that?
so really what we need to know is what materials you're using
I hear what you're saying.
throughout, you know.
Yep.
Any other questions?
No, I'm going to make a motion to, or move to continue this hearing to our next month's meeting. It's September,
When will that be?
September 3rd.
Third Thursday.
Third Thursday.
Third Thursday in September.
Yeah.
I know, I have to unlock my screen.
They want basically a list of materials.
And
September.
so I should get these to the group here before that meeting.
And that's the
21st.
21st.
The meeting's on the 21st?
Yeah.
So a week before, is that, yeah, to get it
Yeah.
out to,
Yeah.
is that right, like a Thursday?
Yeah, it'll be,
You can either, if we can take cut sheets of everything,
that's what I was going to give you.
yeah, I think that would be adequate. If you want to bring pieces in, that would be really good, but,
I mean, you're familiar with a lot of that stuff anyway, but
Yeah.
it'll be a good, clear catalog cut of each of those products.
yep.
And so all those, or I guess, do I have a second?
I'll second the motion to table until next meeting.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I do have another question. So let's say that we come to the 21st meeting, and you think we have an approval from you. Does that authorize us to then get a building permit? And we proceed from there? There's no other planning board or anything like that, right,
No,
involved?
Was the last hurdle?
the building, yeah, we're the last hurdle.
You're the last hurdle, yeah. and then-
Buildings, well, the code enforcement is the last hurdle,
Yeah.
the building inspector.
Then we go
But-
to the building department.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
'Cause he's anxious to get going.
sure.
We don't want to lose our financing. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Financing has nothing to do with us.
Well,
Do with the building. You want to look at it the way it looks now? I don't.
Oh, and here's your one more plan. Yeah. Thank you,
well,
sir.
thank you for bringing in the model. That was very helpful.
I'm not lugging that up here, Ken.
No, you don't need to bring that back.
But it's very nice. I haven't seen something like that since science fair days.
Oh, even when I was working for an architect.
All right,
Thank you. Okay.
So, looks like the next piece of business is approval of the July 20th
Night, thank you.
minutes.
Good night.
Anybody have a chance to go through the minutes?
I didn't even get them.
Oh, really?
They're on the,
Get anything still?
Well, everything comes, all my mail was still being forwarded through Hawaii or something, so everything I get is very late. I got these because I came up to the office and physically got them.
But no minutes. Well,
But,
I read them. I have a couple minor changes, corrections. Which I'm
Go
happy
ahead.
to.
Yeah?
On page 3, this is just a typo. Third line down, taken back, it should be aback, A-B-A-C-K. Bottom of the page, third line, actually 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth line up from the bottom, clapboards, that's all one word. The next page, 1, page 4, last paragraph, second line, Dingman, D-I-N-G-M-A-N, right?
Yeah.
Dingman. And then the last page, the 4th paragraph, should be scenario, S-C-E-N-A-R-I-O. And that's all I had.
Anybody have anything else?
Yeah, just halfway through the notes, I guess starting on page 4, my name changed from Kevin to Ken.
What do you prefer?
I'll go by Kevin. Yeah,
Is it right on the front page?
it's correct on the front page.
Okay.
Yeah, right in the middle of the page.
Kevin.
And it's correct on the second page.
Oh, there's another one. That's first on the page 1,
And then on page 4, it's switched.
3, 4, there's 2 of them.
Yep.
Anything else? Have a motion to approve as amended?
So moved.
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. So any other business?
I do, I have the words in my head, but they won't come out of my mouth. It was recommended by a preservation seminar that I was at, that we annually review our guidelines and process, our procedures and rules of procedure, and what else do we have? There's one other piece. And our, see if we have, if we have a goal, like to improve or add something to our guidelines, take something out that, doesn't apply anymore because it's 2023. And then if we have that would be our goals. The other thing was, just to review those, and I believe those are all on our website. What did I have?
I think those were the not.
Yeah, I think we talked about that, in June, and we were gonna.
Yep. So we should actually put it on the agenda.
And we talked about doing some kind of seminar for the realtors.
Yes.
So that we,
I've got a contact who isn't local, so I'm going to talk to the chamber about how to get a group together. It's going to be difficult, but your question, I brought up your question with a friend of mine that's very real estate broker, the highest level of real estate selling, and you should not have gone through that process that you did. That should have been disclosed to you right up front, that you were buying in a historic district.
They don't really need a whole seminar. All we need is for the realtors to know that first where the district is.
But how do we get them together, or do we go to each one and say, hey?
yeah, I mean, when they have the packet that talks about the house, there's the line that says, is there an HOA? Or you could just put HOA/historic district and put yes. Yep. I mean, it wouldn't be that hard to implement. It's just having the brokers implement it.
But knowing it before you are closing, Some people, it makes a difference. For me, the difference is that if you read on our website, there's an article, I think it's about 6 pages, about what historic districts are good for. And one of them is your tax rate or your tax value stays relatively flat, so that when taxes go up and down, your value doesn't get impacted as much, or your tax bill doesn't get impacted as much. That's one of the things that it maintains, taking care of a building in a historic district and maintaining it as it is. It's an incentive for you to maintain it, and it's also has some monetary results from sort of controlling the cost. Your property value isn't going to go down because you're in a historic district, but it will. It won't. I won't say it won't skyrocket because properties are selling for millions of dollars in historic districts, but there is an advantage that it kind of keeps a middle line when we're doing the valuation process. So those
So
are
you want to,
some,
I guess we can add it to
the
I
agenda.
guess the agenda. Do we want to do it? I guess because we mentioned maybe, if I'm remembering correctly, that it may make sense to have like a special work session for some of the procedures and things like that. Or if we wanted to, maybe at the September meeting, bring like a list of items that we can bandy about and then decide whether it makes sense to move forward that night or if we want to have a special session. However, I just don't know what would be the most time effective.
Well, they're not things that none of them are things that we have to have done, at the end of the year. It's just something that we should make a habit of as a commission to make sure we're keeping up with the times or, getting rid of stuff we don't need. Make sure, like our rules of procedure, I think, are from, I don't know, 1990 something. So we should just take a look, and that's what tells us how to run a meeting, but also tells the applicants what to expect, and that's where I was getting into the select board. It said we should make a script for the board chairs so that when Kevin has to come in all of a sudden and be chair and hadn't run a meeting, just to be sure we cover all the things for the applicants so they know what they're coming and what they're going to hear, I guess. So we can work on that too.
Yeah,
I've got it mostly done, actually.
we can add it to the agenda for next time to continue a discussion about potential things that we want to have looked at, and I guess try and make it something that we look on like an annual basis.
Do it like in May. New volunteers come online in May. So that might be a good time to do it. Well, in a good year. But but I would say May, just because people are either renewing or not, or if they've joined in the middle of the year, it's still it doesn't matter. But at least that's when terms come up and people continue. That's what we want.
Great. So I guess we can add that to the agenda to have everybody review kind of the guidelines and procedures, and we can continue discussion on things that we think might want to be revised or changed by May of 2024.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Did you say you're working on them now?
No.
Script.
The script.
The script, that was, okay. So our homework would be to take a look at the rules and procedures that we have.
Which are on the website.
Are they on the website?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure I have them. Okay.
And I'm sure they're compliant, but I can look at 91A and just make sure that we're not running afoul of anything.
No, we've been
pretty
fine.
Pretty good.
But it's always good to review that annually too. It's basically what we want to be able to do is put together a packet for this phrase onboarding, which I don't like, but everybody knows what it means. But onboarding new members, that know what we do, but not necessarily how, and just to make it easy to get in there and come in
hold
running.
everybody's hand.
I haven't been holding too many hands lately. This is good.
All right, so I guess anything else, any other business?
No.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
You're adjourned.
Excellent.
Thank
Very
you.
good.
Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast channels 98 and 22. Channel 98 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 13, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.